Hi, I'm Greg from RV Haulers. Welcome to the 2014 Heavy Duty Truck Rally here in Hutchinson, Kansas. We're standing in front of one of the most impressive rigs at this year's event. We're in front of a Continental coach manufactured by Forks RV. We're going to take a few minutes to tour Angie and JC's impressive rig, and one of the people responsible for this impressive piece of machinery is here as well. Mr. Eric Stutzman from Forks RV is going to take us on an exterior tour, and we're going to take a tour inside as well. Thank you to Angie and JC for giving us the opportunity to look at their pride and joy. Let's take a look at what's behind us.
Just to show you around the exterior of our coach and maybe just a little bit of background on what our goals have been. It's been a great joy building this for JC and Angie and watching their dreams and goals come together. But as you step away from the Continental coach and take a look at it, you'll see that it looks much like a Class A or a diesel pusher bus. We're the only fifth wheel, the only towable in the market currently that has the integrated baggage doors. There's storage all the way down along the side, even back to the rear end of the coach. And as you approach the back end of these coaches, you'll see they look just like a Class A or diesel pusher. So you can have the fit and the finish of a Class A, all the amenities of a high-end bus, and not have to worry about the engine and transmission of it. As you can see, we've got carefree slide toppers on the slide outs, and also, if you're looking at our roof, or the roof of our coach, it has a seamless fiberglass roof cover from gutter rail to gutter rail, seamless on the top side. So the water management is great. There's no water damming up on the top side, no trim on the top side to hold any water or snow back in there. On this particular coach, we've installed an Onan generator. It's a 12.5. It's a 240 volt generator, and it'll give JC and Angie the full 50 amp service that they would have if they were plugged into a shore power. And this is a diesel generator, and we've equipped this coach with a 50-gallon diesel fuel tank that powers this generator. The second door here, we have the hydraulic pump that operates our leveling system. This particular coach is equipped with Equalizer's leveling system. It's an auto level, works great. It's always moving 2 jacks at one time. The right 2, the left 2, front 2, or the rear 2. It keeps from tweaking this coach. Going on around to this side, this coach is equipped with a Blue Dots air over hydraulic brake system. You can see that here. We've also installed an additional 50 amp shore power here, and there's also a cord reel in the back, so no matter where they're parked and how they're situated in a camping spot, the shore power can be run here or to the back end. We have Equalizer's leveling system, Equalizer's pad here. You can see that, just an on-off and then an auto level, all retract, or you can manually operate this system here. There's gauges here, light switches that are powered 3-way, and the battery cutoff switch are on the outside here. Okay, going on here, we've got our main storage compartment. We've installed a Moride storage tray in here, but there's plenty of storage space. Mother-in-law compartment, whatever you want to call it. There's a lot of room here. Right. So this is the main storage facility. So this is a pass-through. Can be pulled out either side of the coach. Lots of extra storage, and the accessibility of it's great. The centralized water box, the water control box, has a manifold system. Both the hot and cold is much like your breaker box. You can shut off any point, any water point throughout the coach, and you don't have to shut the whole system down if there's any issues at a faucet or anything like that. It has the SureFlow water pump. We've got the 3M filter on, and then we have a retractable, or the hose reel here. We have an outside shower with the outside faucet with both the hot and the cold to rinse things down. Speaking of tanks, the black and gray tanks, the capacity of each is 76 gallons. The freshwater, you have 132 gallons of freshwater on this coach, and those are in the chassis. That's heated and insulated, so that there's no need for no need to be concerned in cold weather. One of the cool things we do, and another thing we take pride in, just putting our coaches together is that we trim out our slide outs. You don't have a piece of skirting coming out with the slide out. It's nice and clean. It allows for the extra storage down below our coat or below the slide out. If you look underneath our slide out, it's clean. You don't have a bunch of wires hanging and drooping all over the place. We keep those all in channels and keep that, again, just cleaned up. And another cool thing about the way we do our slide outs is that when these slide outs retract, they sit flush in here. They do not sit on top of the sidewall. So they're sitting flush and it's a nice clean finish to the outside. In this compartment we have, they're powered, the sewage valves are powered, but there's a switch here where they can open and close those valves. If we take a look at our wheels and our axles, we have the Morai, the 9K IS suspension. We have the Alcoa rims, and we have the Michelin XTA2s, the J-Range tires on this coach. In the rear compartments, again, there's room for more storage. There's also another short cord reel for the back end here. You pull that open, just pull this out to your pole. You put it in the recessed area there, and you close the door, and it shuts fine. It keeps the rodents out of there. To bring that back in again, close it out. Okay. And in the back end, we've got a storage compartment with and this is a request from JC to have a graded bottom to it, so these sewage hoses and things like that can be placed in here. It's also home for the hydraulic pump for the hydrolift on the back end of the coach. Again, this is a 1,000-pound hydrolift. As you lower this, you bring it down to level, drive your bike, motor, scooter, or the scooter, or whatever else you have to go on the back end here, and that can be lifted back up into place. On the side here is here's a fill location for the fuel tank, for the diesel fuel tank. Like I said earlier, there's a 50-gallon fuel tank on board, and it's located at the back side of the axles, and this is the fill location for that. Again, lots of storage toward the back end. All the way through, we make the most use of all the storage spaces we can, so we don't leave any dead areas, but that's a precious commodity for a full-time user. Another special request from JC and Angie was to have a second porch awning installed on the slide out, so it covers up all this area on the living area or the living side of the coach when they're set up. One of the other cool things about these slide outs, there are LED lights in the slide out. Those are RGB controlled. Is that correct terminology for it? Yep. RGB controlled, so this can be changed to just about any color in the color spectrum. Okay. This coach also does have the same lighting system on the undercarriage of the coach, so it lights it up for cool ground effects in the evening or the twilight hours of when you're set up, or even travel mode. There's a quad step going into the coach, and then there's also a stainless steel handle that comes down to the bottom side that you can grab onto before it even starts up those steps. Our entrance door is a 34.5-inch entrance door. It has the motorhome style latch on it and a keyless entry.
And remote.
With a remote, yep. Has a midship turn, porch lights, exterior speakers are up top here for the exterior entertainment center. Moving on to this storage location facility, we have, again, there's more storage. We try to capitalize on any areas that we have available to do to provide storage. Moving on to the next one, and again we're back to the main pass-through storage location here. We've moved all our batteries down into this location underneath here, and it's typically a dead area, and we don't use for storage. It's not accessible, but we've tucked those underneath there, so it allows the area on top for storage. The batteries are there, and then underneath here we have more storage here, but there's also the inverters, transfer switches, and things of that nature are tucked in underneath here. Okay, and we also have a port on the outside for our central vac system. So So you can sweep out your basement or clean this out. You don't have to worry about bringing a shop vac out to do that. Okay. And then the final bay here, we have two 40-pound LP cylinders on a slide-out tray for easy access on that. The cool things that we do with our underbelly is we install our underbelly in panel sections, 3 or 4 foot sections that are bolted on. You don't have to, if you ever need to access anything for service or anything like that, you don't have to worry about pulling a full sheet of underbelly out. You can simply drop 4 bolts and access any point in that underbelly section that you need to. One of there's several features that we feel like we have advantages, or our customers have advantages over other builds or other luxury fifth wheels. The first and probably the most basic one that's often overlooked is our chassis. We have a 22-inch main frame on our chassis, 8 inches on the upper deck that run the full length of the upper deck with 4-inch tubes in between. We have a limited lifetime warranty to our original owner, the customer, on our chassis, so we stand behind what we build. The superstructure is built, it's aluminum sidewalls. The studs in our sidewalls are 11 inches on center. It's heavy gauge aluminum. They're welded, not clipped and screwed and glued or anything of that nature. But it's 16 inches on center, just like your home. We'd rather bet on the structural integrity of having a welded piece of aluminum than the lamination process and glue holding our coach together. So that's a big deal for us. The roof is the same way. It has a roof bow to it for water management, so the water runs off of our roof. Where a roof and wall come together rather than a square corner with trim and screws and all that, it's seamless. It comes all the way down to the gutter rail, and the fiberglass actually flashes over our sidewalls, so we don't have any water issues up there. We have, I forgot to mention, we do have a 5-year warranty on our superstructure, the walls, all the aluminum superstructure that I talked about. So we stand behind what we build. We go on the overkill side of things to make sure things are done right. So we don't run into issues in the full-time user does not run into issues on that. So as you can see, we have a 4-color paint, full body paint on our coaches. The stripes go all the way through, and the design goes all the way through our slide out end. It's a 3-coat clear on top of topping our full body paint off. It's a full cut, so there's no ridges and lines, heavy lines in between the design points.